Hey folks, how we doing? It's 8:02. 8:02 a.m. Sunday, July 31st. 8:02, that's 208. 2 is understanding, 0 is completion, 8 is knowledge, data. Huh. That's basic information for, it's usually a little different for anybody that's listening to it, and you'll get a slightly different message from it. For me, it's something else. It's understanding the completion of information. I'm trying to put out, don't need those. I'm trying to put out information. I'm trying to finish getting out information I know that you need, or something that'll help you waking up. What I need to give you is every possible tool I can come up with to become yourself. Okay, psychic, the endless pit of wonders, the endless pit, the bottomless pit of problems. People are just now actually finally really waking up in a situation where they're not being hampered. Their metaphysical abilities aren't being messed with like they used to be. A little more than 10% of the problems of the manipulation, problems that come from manipulation of your spirit as you try to waken up, there's only about, maybe, honestly, it's like 10-11% of that is left. So it's easier for you to actually wake up and see what's really there. People would become metaphysically aware, awaken everything, and they get good information from their spirit guides. And then they'd be correct and they'd realize they were doing something. Well, even that was controlled by the other side, by the spirit guides. Y'all have had to do things that were not very honorable when you're someone else's spirit guide, and you had no choice. You had a bunch of angels around you that were incredibly powerful, could not kill you, but mess you up, yes. And then you always had the original first being male and female. They claimed they claimed themselves to be gods on the other side, just like they did over here. Servitude and praise. That's what they demanded and expected from everyone and everything. Now, back to this word. Psychic. What the hell is a psychic? If, while you're awakening, becoming awake and everything else, you call yourself a psychic, you are opening up your own personal little Pandora's box to becoming awake. Remember, only less than 4% of the population, less than 4% of the population is awake. So with over 96% of the population not being awake and not understanding and always being led not to believe this, yeah, there's going to be some people out there to give you a hard time. What do you think? Especially those people that are really embedded in their religions and they like to be abusive about it. You will do this because God and Jesus said so, and here's the book I'm going to hit you in the head with. Around here, it's the Bible. Um, it's all nonsense. That's nonsensical. Okay? When you say you're psychic, then everyone has their different feelings about it, and there's been so many fakers with this too. Um, Intuition is a summary. It's like a soft title that covers a large group of abilities that every single body is given. Okay? Metaphysical abilities are summed up. Your metaphysical abilities are summed up with the word intuition. Intuition is gut feeling, knowing, that kind of thing, but it also includes the rest of them. Okay? A mother's intuition. Okay? That's saying something. There's no such thing as a psychic, but yet a mother's intuition can sometimes tell when their daughter or son on halfway around the earth is needing help, and they call them up and bingo. Or do you need to call your parents? Your own intuition. A soldier feeling something aiming at his neck. Officer, police officer. A person being chased by bad officers. It's best not to pick up stones and sticks and to throw them, because it'll help you stay away from those idiots. I'm not beating up police. There's much more. There's a lot more good policemen and women than there are bad ones. But when the bad ones have guns and they get stupid, and then the people are getting stupid too, that's a recipe for disaster. And don't forget, there's people out there that just want to start crap, and they'll, do exactly that. Kent State, for those of you that are, I'm 61 now. Those of you that have some years on you like me, you remember Kent State. That was started by a radical person that was paid money to cause an issue. It was being done. He was paid a lot of money to actually be the shooter, but there was another person there, that a few people actually working together, but one in particular that was masterminding the whole thing. And he'd be working with people, starting hate groups and stuff like that. Folks, stay away from that. The more you become your true self, you can see what's going on around you. You can see it, feel it, hear it. Sometimes you could swear you can taste it in the air, taste it in the field. But when someone says, "Are you psychic?" or if you tell someone, "I'm a psychic," okay, that says that you have abilities no one else does, and then they want to say, "Prove it." And the first thing they're going to say is, "What am I thinking of?" Okay, number one, the heart, as I've told you before, the heart grabs your thoughts, your strongest thoughts, strongest emotions, puts them together, and then literally sends them out of the body. After it goes up and down, it goes in and out of the hypothalamus too, and that's how you create understanding. However, what I'm trying to talk about right now is getting thoughts from your brain, get pulled down by the heart into the heart, create a feeling that it sends out. So when you're empathic and you feel other people, you actually get some thought in there as well as emotion, but you get strongest the feeling that they create when mixed together in the heart. And you can help understand a person by feeling that feeling, and then also the understanding that comes with that feeling. And then you pull that in your heart, and it goes in your body and in your heart, and then also up and down through the hypothalamus, and you start understanding what they're trying to understand. There's all kinds of ways we communicate, and it's the constant. People say animals have such much stronger instinct. Well, they're stronger themselves, but their instinct is what we have. We just can't use it. We don't trust it. They have to. Animals abuse so much. Anyway, so when you say the word psychic, you're opening up the door. You're opening up a door to all kinds of problems. Okay, nobody can actually go into someone's brain. You're not allowed to. Okay, if I'm concerned about someone, if someone's afraid they're going to be physically hurt or something, or if something's attacking someone, they might not be aware of. But if someone's physically going to hurt someone and they're afraid, I'm going to go in and find out what's going on. If someone's wanting to hurt someone, I'll go in their head. I've done it before. I'll go right in the head and just, they'll be looking at someone wanting to hurt them. I go into their head and I just fire up, and they turn around and look right at me. And we have a real quick discussion with pictures. They usually leave. Actually, they always do. Anyway. Other than that, it's never happened. It just, there's laws about that. I don't mean rules, I mean laws. You don't go there. To be able to do that, you don't have that ability anyway. And if something does have that ability, if it doesn't have honor, then you would have problems. But those problems don't exist. Spirit guides talk back and forth. Another person's spirit guide and your spirit guide talk back and forth, and then they relay information too. Okay, but that's not the same thing as actually going into someone's head yourself. So anyway, people say, "How many fingers do I have behind my back?" Hey, you might see it, you might not, but what's the sense in that? Honestly, what's the sense? If you're strong enough in your scanner, you might be able to see. When I went the first time someone asked me that, I looked at him, and I'm always head to head, always. Okay, I touch stuff around the head, and this is a friend of mine, and he was going through all these numbers, 275, and I'm like, damn, slow down. And I looked at him, and I saw 2 and 3 different fingers, and he was trying to make up his mind which to do. He didn't even have it yet. He didn't even make up his mind. Well, if he doesn't make up his mind, he doesn't have it physically either. So it's like there's like 2.5? Folks, stay away from that garbage. Who cares? Some people would say that if you were real, you'd know this. I said, why? Why? Why would I know one particular thing that you want me to know? Because you want me to prove myself to you, and buddy, I don't got to prove nothing to you. I'm here to do my job, and you have no idea how insignificant your desires are to me. I mean nothing other than the fact, if you have a desire to know something and it's relative to your life and important, yeah, let's go there. If it's not important, I'll just tell you point blank. I don't know. I don't care. I very infrequently ever say that in consults. When we get together in consults, I'm there. I'm looking at you, looking at your life, looking at what's going on. I'll ask you for questions so that you can go ahead. You spend a lot of money. If it's $20, it's a lot of money. I want to do what I can for you, but if it's really not important or something like that, I'll touch on it and just let it go. So, when am I going to meet the one I love? Well, you have free will, they have free will, and there's other stuff running your lives that doesn't know what it wants to do. So you really want me to say that? And then if you tell them what you see for them in the future, knowing the future changes, then you tell them to look for someone, and they meet someone who's the new someone that's supposed to be with them, and they look different, and they forget about it. They just go right by it. So you're actually screwing them by telling them what's in the future. No. Now there's a lot of dummies out there that right away will say, see, he can't see shit. Hey, after we're done talking, you all know about that right away. If I can tell you so much about your family members, people around you, friends, then you get the idea, like, okay, he sees stuff. Again, FBI and Homeland Security, when they came to my house together, it wasn't just because they wanted to see if I really lived here. They didn't bring a pizza. We're reading your emails. Good. Keep reading. You'll learn something. People, you all have metaphysical abilities. The word psychic is a box that people can put you in that has changing parameters all the time, whatever they want to make it. That way they keep you in the box. You're a fake, you're a liar, you're a bullshit, you're a bad person. No, you're a person with metaphysical abilities that you've always had, and you're learning how to develop them. And then you use the word psychic. That's asking for hell, because they're literally, you just gave them a ton of mud to throw at you. Okay? And as we as we awaken and wake up, it becomes confusing. It does. It becomes confusing. You're learning how to do something new. It's like riding a bike. And don't forget, people are going to say, oh, if you're a real psychic, you know how many fingers I have behind you. And I just always go, hey, here's the one finger I got right here for you. How's that? I'll put it right in front of you so you can see it. My fingers is number one. And then they look at me, it's like, bring up a person in your life, and I'll go ahead and tell you about that person. And then I'll tell you some things about you, about your character, that I couldn't possibly know. My friend Ian, I haven't seen him in a long time, very cool guy. He was Benjamin Franklin. He was Lancelot. Very strong seer. And he was seeing stuff a little bit, on and off. And when I first met him, he said, Jay, can you tell me something only my aunt knew? He goes, I've heard a lot of neat stuff about you, and it's not that I don't believe it, but I need proof like everyone else. Can you tell me something only my aunt told me? I said, man, it doesn't work like that, okay? Maybe I can, maybe I can't. I'm not going to. I don't care. Why should I waste my time on that? I told him what his aunt was like, and he goes, yeah, you can say that about anyone. I said, no, you can't. If I tell you that somebody's very nice and loving, they had some issues with this, issues with that, you can say that about anybody. Well, no. What about someone who's a real asshole? What about someone who's very condescending? What about someone who's very aggressively mean, selfish? Was beating up her husband the whole time, and the younger son did everything she could for him, but she'd turn around and kick him when he, wasn't looking. When you tell people stuff like that, folks, you say it's generic. Well, it's a basic thing, yes, but it's not generic. It doesn't fit everywhere. So, and that's telling the truth, what you see and feel with your abilities. So that's why I never had an issue. If I know someone's really confused so much and they're not ready to be woken up, I'll deny the consult. I've only done it twice, and I've cranked up over 2,000 people. I'd say that's a small percentage. I don't know. But most people, come my way for a reason. It's for me to help them. Of course, the money helps me, but folks, the money that goes for these consults, man, it goes out everywhere. It's keeping this whole thing going. It's keeping your information there, you and everyone else coming into your life. Okay? All the books. As a matter of fact, when you're waking up, your abilities, bada boom, bada bing. These room cards are awesome. It's got the different energy fields in your body. It tells you when to crank them up, when to put a shield around yourself. If you use them for daily talk, okay? Quit trying to divine the future unless it's in the next day or two. If you stay within the day and use it for communication, they're awesome. Because the future keeps changing. You'll say, oh, they don't work. Because I wanted to know what was going to happen. I want to know when I'm going to meet my lover, and I didn't give me information. Folks, that information isn't available from anyone. Okay, bada boom, what's this? That's about sight, okay? That's Kano. Bada boom. That means you have sight, vision. Just Just got a little message from the lights. Folks, messages coming everywhere. It's got a dragon and a unicorn in front of it. I don't know, or the back facing, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, well, here, it's got other cards in there. Was another one. That's relative to the upper crown. Okay? That means fire up your crown. And when you get the crown card, it's not just the upper crown, it's all of them, but it starts with the first, the upper crown. Okay? That means open it up. Okay? If there's a second line in there, there's a card like this with a second line in there, that means fire it up. Fire up your crown. Folks, this teaches these, okay, this says there's plenty of time to do what you got to do. You get another card that says, you know, fire up your crown, whatever, then it'll say you got plenty of time, just relax. And then if it comes up this way, it means you're running out of time. You need to hurry up and do this. There's other stuff that's planned in your life, and it's the other side's trying to tell you, okay, you need to do this now. All right, this is Haglaz. Okay? They say that upside down, there's no upside down for it. Bull. There is. There's always been. That's the way I did it. The 3 lives that I had as a Viking, that's exactly how I did it. And I was 10 years old, and they're 9 and 10 years old, and then they come see me before they took off for raids. Notice how the bar is at the top. That's the bar is raised higher, which means like if you were going to jump over it, there's more difficulty. That's difficulty. This means that the difficulties are there, but they're going away. And that's things in your life. That might be relative to the next day, within 3 days. That's receiving gift. A nice gift. Okay, that doesn't mean someone's going to give you a car. It means it's time for you to have nicer things in your life. And by the way, it might be a car. But that's don't think that. Meaning, it's usually mean you're going to have a good day, something like that. But it has a lot of depth. It's a very strong card of gift. Here. This is Thursaz. And it's a normal position. Now, that's Kano. That's Kano? Kano. That's Kano, meaning you have sight. And then if you look at it, you know, see, here's a Kano. Okay, there's the sight. And then you have the bar going straight down, which is Isa, which means relax, be calm, be yourself, singular, relax. It's like the number 1. Just be yourself, relax. And it's also closing off the Kana. So it means you can't see right now, the Kana. You can't see right now. But relax, it's okay. If you're getting your head worked on and you can't see things right because your brain's they're evolving your brain, actually me, whatever, that's the card you'll get. You're confused, you can't see anything, this card will come up and say, hey, it's okay. You can't see right now because you're getting worked on or whatever. Okay? This when you get this card, it means don't worry, you're not supposed to be able to see right now. And it's almost always because you're being worked on. You're growing inside. Okay? Othelia, this means coming out. This is one of the Elder Futhark. These runes are the Elder Futhark with a whole lot of other ones put in there. Okay, that means like the breach, something coming out, like a whale jumping out of the water, porpoise jumping out of the water. It's time for something to grow out. It also can mean inheritance coming. Okay? Something popping in your life. Folks, here's one. That's Gaia. This guy involved in your life. If you get this card, there's something about the earth you need to look at, and if you look in your head, you might even find Gaia inside your head evolving you. Okay? Guy's really cool. Difficulties. Always difficulties. So anyway, and then here's a book. That's LGs, means victory, success. You turn it over, what do you get? It's a peace sign. It means be peaceful. Inside the book, all the different signs. I'm going to have some difficulties today. That's okay. I got stuff I got to do. A bunch of consults. I need to get out of here too. So anyway, folks, when you say the word psychic, that word has been around forever. It's not true to cause. What you have is metaphysical abilities. They're abilities that are not physical. They're other than. They're aside from. That's what meta means. Something that's not tangible physically. Your soul is a metaphysical thing. Ta-da! It's like people said, Jay, stones don't have energy, you're nuts. And I said, okay, could you pull your soul off and, just pull it off and I'll poke it, or can I see it or something? I can't see it. Oh, of course I got a soul. Prove it. They can't. I can tell them, yeah, you got a soul. This is what it looks like, and this is, the aura that your frequencies inside you actually produce as a byproduct. The auric expression of frequencies. I put out a DVD on that to explain what all the different colors mean. Got one here somewhere. It's kind of funny. There's so much going on. And when you're having a hard time understanding something, folks, which is, for me, it's all the time. There's always something new to understand. And, you look through things, you see things. What you already know and everything, fine, it's easy understanding, but you're always growing. Okay? Celestite. Beautiful stone. This is very strong with the hypothalamus. Okay? Which is the control point of understanding within the brain. And in many ways, too, within the body. For the solar plexus, heart, everything. Okay? You look up the stone meaning in a book. Oh, it's the enlightenment of this. Folks, they're relative to your body parts. They're helping you understand. It's not relative to ascension or something silly. It's relative to helping your body become itself. That's what stones are. Stones are from the planet. So's your body. Don't tell anyone. Okay? If you want to read a book that's got good information for you, okay, the one right behind me. Let's see, there we go. Melody's book, Love is in the Earth. Now, there's been some changes made to it, but you know what? Melody, very beautiful essence. Human essence and Fae, too. Fame and essence. That's personal. All right. So she's really cool. Folks, what you have is metaphysical abilities. Psychic is a BS word. Baloney stuff. Yeah. Okay. That is meant to put you in a box, fold it up, and then people just say this guy's a fake because he's not meeting the requirements that I put upon him for this word that I can make whatever I want. It's a metaphysical ability, like a mother's intuition. Throw that in their face. What are they going to say? No? That's not real. Well, all through life on this planet, as well as every other one, it's all there, but you have to give them something they can think with because they're asleep. Okay? So, you have to give them something that they can look at and see for themselves and understand, and some type of relation to the physical world. If you can't, then you're wasting your time. Just go. Okay? They'll be stuck on stupid because they won't wake up. You can show someone something. If they don't want to think about it, see it or process it, then they won't. And the time you spend on them trying to get them to understand, you're totally wasting. You could be helping yourself by becoming more awake. You could do something you like and enjoy, and you could also be helping someone else who wants the help. And there's plenty of people waking up, folks. It's time. It's also time for me to leave you alone again. Folks, love you, man. Have a good one, and see you soon.